A 24-year-old action comic artist struggling to make her work shine receives the difficult task of writing a romance. An encounter with a puppy and a charming but somewhat aloof guy will help her overcome her creative block. Hey there, my friend, all good? Today we're going to talk about a Chinese series from 2020. This one's perfect for those who love watching something light and enjoy a good romantic comedy. Qinian is a 24-year-old artist facing a big problem. Her boss asked her to create a romantic comic, but she specializes in the action genre. Every attempt at something romantic goes wrong because she always includes a touch of violence. Just to give you an idea, one of her ideas was a comic called Love Wrestling. The sketch shows a girl throwing the guy to the ground. To worsen Chi's creative block, she finds out that if she can't create a good romance, she'll be fired on the spot. This only makes her more nervous and complicates things. Trying to help, Ming, who is an executive editor, says that a romance makes her heart beat faster. But Qinian has never fallen in love, so for her, a racing heart is a cardiac problem. Ming gives several romantic comics to inspire Qinian and asks the artist to deliver the first sketches by the end of the next day. Qinian goes to a park to see if the ideas flow better and sits on a bench to draw. Suddenly, a friendly dog approaches, wanting a piece of the dried meat she brought for a snack. She notices that the dog's collar has his name, which is Qi Bao, almost the same as hers. Since she can't draw anything interesting, she decides to return the dog to its owner. But when she holds the leash, Qi Bao runs through the park as if he already knows where to go. Arriving at a bridge near the lake, the dog stops, and they encounter a handsome young man named Yangson. She becomes a bit silly looking at him until the guy reaches out his hand. He wanted to take the leash back, but she thought it was a handshake and held his hand. They chat for a bit, but the guy only gives short answers. And then the dog simply starts to chase a butterfly and makes the owner fall over Qinian. To top it off, the little dog even jumps over the guy, causing him to accidentally kiss the girl. That's when he understands the story of the racing heart that Ming was talking about. After getting up, the guy says he'll refund her for the snacks his dog ate, but she declines. Instead, Qinian asks for his number, but before she can hear the answer, her phone rings. It's Ming saying she got the date wrong and the sketch has to be delivered by 5 in the afternoon that same day. In a rush, Qinian starts to leave, but before she goes, she asks the guy to wait for her there on the bridge. Then she runs back to the office to finish the story. Just for curiosity, he decides to wait. After half an hour, he also receives a call and needs to leave. To ensure they don't lose contact, the guy writes his number on a note and sticks the message on the bench. As he leaves, the wind blows the note away. Meanwhile, Qinian is at the company showing Ming a 2-page comic based on her recent encounter. Ming is impressed with the drawing style, the presence of the adorable dog, and the unexpected kiss. Qinian says the characters are real and that the guy is even more handsome in person. Ming continues to be surprised, but encourages Qinian to write more about the mysterious man and publish the story. With this conversation, Qinian remembers that the mysterious man asked him to wait and rushes to find him. However, when she arrives at the bridge, she can no longer find Yangsen. Meanwhile, the mysterious man arrives at an office. His name is Jia Yangsen. He is an architect and the owner of a famous company. His best friend and partner were there to tell him about some blind dates his grandfather is organizing for him. As usual, Yangxin declines. Yangxin tells his friend that he met a girl on the bridge that afternoon and they had a moment. But when his friend becomes interested in the story, he asserts that he's not interested in the girl. That night, Qinian goes out to eat with her friends, and at one point, a bucket of water falls on her head. Some women come down from the building to apologize on behalf of their friend who caused the accident because she was drunk due to a broken heart. Qinian's friend is a professor at the university the girls attend. That's why she knows that the one who caused the girl's heartache was this Professor G. He's charming but very strict and never remembers the names of the students, only their identification numbers. Still, all the girls are in love with him. Qinian's other friend mentions that his boss isn't easy either. The guy is very talented, even won a big award and is also very handsome. But he's super cold and doesn't talk to anyone in the company. Since she didn't know the name of the mysterious guy from the bridge, Qinian doesn't even suspect that her friends are talking about the guy who made her heart race for the first time. At home, she decides to write an ad with everything she knows about the guy from the bridge and his dog and includes a drawing she made of the two. In the message, she asks her followers to inform her if they know someone similar. Luckily, someone responds saying they saw a similar guy at the university. The next day, Qinian goes there hoping to meet the guy again. There, she sees a girl taking photos and takes the opportunity to ask about this handsome man. The girl immediately understands who she's looking for because she takes pictures of Yangxin and sells them online. In this moment, campus guards see the photographer and chase after her. Before fleeing, she tells Qinian where to find the guy and hides the memory card in Qinian's bag. Qinian goes to the class the girl indicated and is surprised to see the professor arrive. They stare at each other and she greets him, but he pretends not to see her. He is none other than Yang Xin. He shows a puzzle and says that whoever solves it can ask for anything they want, as he is sure no student will be able to solve it. The girls take turns trying to solve it, but only Qinian manages to do it. Seeing this, Yang Xin is surprised and asks her to come to his office. There, he sees the memory card and discovers that there are many photos of it, but Qinian swears up and down that the memory card isn't hers. He also asks how she managed to solve the puzzle. It turns out that her father was also an architect and had boxes like that all over the house. Since she was used to playing with them since she was little, she knows how these things works. Yang Xin is impressed and keeps his promise, letting Qinian choose whatever she wants as a reward. Hey, if you've been watching until now, go ahead and give this video a like so others can see the same things you've seen. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe now too. There you go, you made the right choice. She asks to be his assistant and he agrees with one condition. To keep the job, Qinian has to make Yang Xin call her by her name by the end of the month, otherwise she'll have to resign. She agrees, thinking it'll be super easy to do. Later, Qinian writes a few more pages of the comic about everything that happened. She was thinking that the condition Yang Xin imposed on her to keep the job would generate more content for her story. On her first day as an assistant, Qinian coordinates all his meetings and also tries to get him to say her name, but he calls her by her identification number. While they talk, the girl from the photos appears, and he notices. He manages to catch the girl, takes her camera, and asks her to apologize to Qinian for putting the memory card in her bag. Initially, the girl refuses, but after he promises to return the camera, she agrees. In the next class, he sees Qinian hiding under the table. He leans in and whispers her name and kisses her. It seems like a dream. And it is. At that moment, Qinian wakes up and realizes she was dreaming. Determined to turn her dream into reality, she hides under the teacher's desk, but this time, he just asks her to come out and sit in one of the chairs. Still, Qinian doesn't lose hope and continues trying to get the guy to say her name. At one point, she even wears a t-shirt with her name written on it and changes his wallpaper to a picture of herself. However, he still doesn't call her anything except for her ID. The next day, Qinian is informed that Yang Xin won't be coming to the university for a few days due to his architectural work, but he left her a bunch of tasks to do. The guy's absence leaves the artist distressed, fearing that this time away will make him forget her name. Knowing how important reputation is to Yang Xin, she does the best job possible to complete all the tasks and be the perfect assistant. She was so impressive as an assistant that when Yang Xin returns to the university, everyone is praising her, everyone, from the janitors to the professors. Later, they meet outside in the rain and she expects to be praised for her excellent work. Just as he's about to say something, a car passes by and splashes them both. Yang Xin takes Qinian to the teacher's lounge and gives her dry clothes. After they change, she asks if he remembers her name, but he asks what her real reason is for being at the university. She confesses that she fell in love with him at first sight and also needs a favor from him. At one point she stumbles and ends up falling onto Yang Xin's chest. Right at that moment, his grandfather, who is always arranging dates for his grandson, enters the room. Yang Xin seizes the opportunity to get rid of his grandfather's schemes and says that Qinian is his girlfriend. The old man doesn't believe him and asks Yang Xin to say the girl's name. Qinian herself starts encouraging him to say it. Unable to avoid it any longer, Yang Xin says Qinian's name out loud. After hearing the guy say her name for real, Qinian joins in the fake relationship and says she will always take care of Yang Xin. Only after that does the old man leave. Yang Xin realizes there's no more denying the defeat and allows Qinian to continue being his assistant. She's super happy to be close to the man of her dreams and to write more about her comic, and he's happy about it too, but he hides it better. From here on, things get even more interesting. Well, that was the recap of the first 3 episodes of the 2020 series, Be With You. If you liked it, comment part 2 here so I can bring more content like this, or maybe continue this story. We're in this together. Hugs from Henrique. Mission accomplished. Over and out.